I was reading the other day. This person attributed that their level of success was achieved because they had a propensity to action. Uh, we all know that procrastination is the great negator. So many of us that have things on greatness on the inside of us, so many of us that are ready to blossom and bloom, we have a tendency to put things off. But there's a level even past procrastination. You can actually be started, and then you can get into all types of busy work that doesn't put you towards the action that needs to be taken at that time. You can get into a paralysis of analysis. You can start making plans. You can start making counter plans. And if this happens and that happens, and there's nothing wrong with having the discipline to have a planned day or a planned moment or a plan or a game plan. But every now and then, after the game plan is all put together, you need to act. That's what separates the men from the boys uh, in the halls of achievement. There are so many people that are so brilliant, so apt. They ooze with ability, but they don't get into action. You got to do. I mean, the Bible even speaks of faith without works is dead. If you really want me to show your faith, if you really got faith, why aren't you doing something about it? If you really are sold on yourself, why aren't you investing in yourself? I found out that after a while, it's where the rubber meets the road. Will you put $1? If you really believe in yourself, will you put money behind you? It's hard to convince someone else to invest in you when you won't invest in yourself. And I remember the time when I jumped into TV. And I mean, I had no model. I just jumped out there. And it was a good 3 year run, financed out of my own pocketbook. But I can't tell you how that helped me as far as confidence, how that helped me as in making my face a tad bit more memorable. It gave me uh, it literally gave me the exposure that I needed at that particular moment. So, folks, you gotta act sooner or later. All those plans, all those vision boards, all of those goals that you got on your mirror, sooner or later, they're waiting on you to act. The difference, I always quote Miles Monroe that said the richest place in the world is a cemetery. But so many of those people had plans. They had the goals written. They just never did anything. You have to act. Action is what separates a mediocre salesperson from a great one, a mediocre manager from a great one. Folks, there's enough projects been dropped into your spirit at night, or God's dropped little sweet nothings that's been spoken in your ear. All that was lacking from them making you a household name was you didn't act. There's gonna, we action does not guarantee a victory. There's an element of risk. There's an element of chance. Uh, but folks, look, you'll never get anywhere without action. The more action that you take, it's going to separate you from the rest of the pack. As I look back in business, those who individually excel in business are those that take more action. The greatest salespeople that I've ever worked around, they took more action while everybody else was talking, while everybody else was keeping up with each other. The people that excel were those that took more action. The greatest preachers that I've ever been around, they literally, they literally studied more than everyone else. They traveled. Their passion. They bought books. Folks, yes, you got to invest. If you want to be great in the field, you got to invest. They bought books. They bought tapes. I got enough cassette tapes to I don't know if I'll ever play any of them again, but I got them for days. I got VHSs for days. I travel conference to conference around the country. If you really want to be great at something, you gotta act. It just doesn't come there. You just sitting down waiting on when you say, Lord, give us this day our daily bread, God's way isn't to drop down a loaf on your head. You got to be committed to action. Those who reach the uppermost tiers of life are committed to action. There's some project. There's some a keen idea. There's some hobby of yours that's ready to go from one place to the next, but it's waiting on you to act. Look, folks, action separates the men from the boys, the women from the girls, and it separates the greats from all the rest. If you want to really be great, you got to learn how to act. Act today powerfully, and I'll be looking for your promise in tomorrow. Great day. Have a great day.